Hello students, today we are going to continue with the same topic, sexual reproduction in flowering plants. And this is the third lecture of this particular podcast. Today we will start with artificial hybridization, then we will move to uh, outbreeding devices, and then the final topics will come on. So let's start with artificial hybridization. So, artificial hybridization are the mechanisms which are developed by the human beings themselves to get the desired varieties in a plant. How it is done? It is done by crossing two different plants, genetically different plants of the same species. There are two methods attached to it, emasculation and bagging. Emasculation is the process in which the anthers are removed using forceps before they get mature, and this is done to ensure that cell pollination doesn't take place in bisexual flowers. After emasculation, the bagging is done using polythene or another material. It is done so to prevent the undesired pollen grains landing on the stigma. When the stigma gets receptive to accept the pollen grains, the desired pollen grains are dusted on it. And as a consequence, we get the desired varieties in our plant. Now, the second term is outbreeding devices. These devices are developed by the plant themselves in order to prevent self-pollination and encourage or promote cross-pollination. Now, this is done, or the outbreeding devices by which it is done, cross-pollination is promoted are dichogamy, hercogamy, third by self-incompatibility, and unisexuality. Let us discuss them one by one. What is dichogamy? When the anther and the stigma, they mature at different times. When they mature at different times, it is known as dichogamy. When the anthers mature first, that is known as protoandry. And when the stigma mature first, it is known as protogamy. The second one is hercogamy. Here the positions of the plants, either they are very far or at a very high altitude or low altitude. If such is the case of the male and female reproductive parts, self-pollination is not possible. There's the third case of self-incompatibility. What happens here is the pollen grains themselves are incapable of germinating on stigma. Thereby, self-pollination is not possible. The fourth one is unisexuality. As we all know, there are two types of plants, monoecious and dioecious. Monoecious means married, that means both the sexes are on the same plant. Let us take the example of maize, which is a monoecious plants. What happens here? The flowers are different, but the plant is the same. Plant is same, flowers are different. So the chances of self-pollination gets reduced. But on the contrary, if we take the example of papaya, which is a dioecious plant. Dioecious means different sexes are present on different plants. So only one pollination, that is cross pollination, is possible. The other one is not possible. So these are the devices developed by the plants themselves to ensure cross pollination. Now let us turn our gaze to other parts. What are those? False fruit and true fruit, polyembryony and apomixis, and also parthenocarpy. Let us discuss about true fruits. What are true fruits? True fruits are such kind of fruits which develop from ovary itself and not from any other floral part. The examples are mango and tomato. The second one is false fruit, which develops from ovary plus other floral parts such as thalamus or receptacle. Let us take the example of apple and strawberry. In apple, we find that the edible part, or the part which we eat, that is derived from thalamus, but the other parts are derived from ovary. Now we discuss the other terms, apomixis and parthenocarpy. Both of them doesn't undergo fertilization. When there is fertilization, there is no fertilization, but fruits are developed. It is known as parthenocarpy. The process is known as parthenocarpy, and the best classical example of parthenocarpic fruit is banana, seedless. The second example is apomixis. Here what happens? The seeds are developed without fertilization, and the best example are grasses. In the case of polyembryony, as the name suggests, we have more than two or more embryos. That means two or more embryos are present inside the same seed or within the same seed. And the examples are onion and citrus. So that's all for today. We will try to bind the whole chapter in a single lecture in that particular podcast on the other day. For now, for the time being, let's say goodbye. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. The next morning. For today, it's good night.